Well, welcome back to the Model Building Corner. I'm Joe. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. After I sprayed the bumpers yesterday, I didn't do anything else. But I did test fit the bench, and we might as well just get right to it. I'll get you in here and show you what we got going on. So, come on. Alright, so first off, let's take a look at these bumpers. It's been about 24 hours, and but I was touching all over these this morning. I mean, again, you know, the finish is very durable. It's not coming off. Got some putty there. Somebody was kind enough to point out to me all my flaws that were in it, that I should have sprayed it in the spray booth, but you know, again, with the way that this stuff sprays from a distance, I didn't want to do it in the house. Okay, so I did it outside. It looks good for me. All right, this one's probably the one he's talking about. Yeah, there is a little hair there and a little hair there, but that's it. All right, so I'm good with this. All right, I build for me, but you can see the finish is there. It's beautiful. And it's durable. So I leave those alone till they're ready to go on. Alright, so I did pull out the let's set this up better so you guys can see. Alright, so here's the thing that I need to do. Alright. A sleeper V6 car, whatever. It's not going to have the flashy center console, but this one doesn't have the center console, but it doesn't have a back seat. So I'm going to cut this off, mount it to this one, and then I grab the bench seat. Now, the thing that I didn't realize, and my buddy Terry, who's also a viewer, but most importantly, he's a buddy, the Roadrunner kit's a 1/24th scale, and I do have an issue with the bench seat fitting. So with the door panel installed, if I can get it in there, it's just barely touching. So I've got two choices. I can either cut this down the middle, sand on it a little bit because it's only off by a couple of cat hairs. It's not a lot. We'll cut it down the middle, sand on a little bit, re-glue it. That's also going to pull the transmission pan back into place. Transmission pan, what am I talking about? The transmission hump. So, you know, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and file this down, get it sitting a little lower. And I think instead of cutting it in half, I think I might just shave it on the sides here, because once that's in the car, you're not going to see it. So I think that's my plan for that. Because you can see, I mean, it's barely touching where the door panel has to go. So, you know, if I wanted to, I could probably squeeze it in there, but I'm going to take a little bit off of those corners. So that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to get this swapped over, and I'm going to get this sanded down. Alright, so I'm just going to cut this one right at the base of the, let's get to cutting. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, I'm thinking as I go, I'm not sure, but I'm thinking probably I can use the chassis as a template to hold this in place and hold this in place so that I keep it on the correct angle, so it's not cattywampus at all. But I also want to make sure that I have it this way as well, to make sure I didn't go too short or too long. And that actually looks perfect. Alright. So what I'm going to do is this. Oh, I don't want to glue it on there because I could end up sticking it to the chassis. So let me start by gluing it like this, because now I know that the length is good. I'm going to run a bead of glue to start with, whoops, along this cut, and then I'm going to put the door panel in temporarily. So all I can do is just start gluing. Just start gluing. Whoops. That was way too much. See, this is what I was worried about, is making sure that the angle is correct. So without getting any glue on this, can I get this in there? Just long enough to get this and this, and then yank this off. I'm gonna need some fill in here, so I'll use the glue. Whoops. Where are my... I always lose my toothpicks. Well, she's looking pretty good anyway. Weld that in. Welding, welding. Alright. So that's going to be good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build up a glue bead here so that I can come back later and sand it and use my glue as filler. Oh, it's already dried. Okay then. It's pretty strong. Alright, now let's make sure everything fits still. Do my door cards fit? Like a glove. Door card like a glove. So we're good. I'm gonna let this set, and then I'll come back in and sand on it and get it cleaned up. In the meantime, gotta work on this guy. Okay, I'm going to start by taking some off the bottom, and I'll use my generic Dremel, And I think I'm going to do this outside. Alright, I got the door cards taped in temporarily. And as you can see, I took some off the bottom to pull it down a little bit. As you can see, the sides now clear perfectly. I just got to work on the sides here. So I'm just going to bring these sides up a little bit. Bring these up a little bit. Just a little. And then once I get that done, I'll sand it smooth. And then I'll have to fill in this side a little bit as well. So, did this sucker shift in my clamps? I think it did. Alright, so we'll sand those smooth too. So let me keep moving. Alright, I think I'm going to go with this before I go too far. It looks like I got perfect spacing. And I think that'll work. So I'm just going to do some finish sanding on this. Obviously the back seat and the front seat has two different upholstery designs. But are you really going to see it when it's in the car? Especially if I paint it black. You're not going to see it. So let me get this tape off so I could do some finish sanding on that. And I'll get some sanding done on the seat. And I will be in business. I'm going to shoot some primer on these just to see how they look and how much more work I have to do. So let's shoot that real quick. I don't think I need a lot, so I only put a little bit in the cup. And since I'm only going to be doing this little bit, I'm not even going to hook the fan up. I got to disconnect the hose every time I go to use it, but I'm not worried about it. Oh, this is very awkward trying to paint like this, and I probably should have taken the time to hook the fan up. So, see, you can see it much better in primer. So I've got a little bit of cleanup to do on that corner, but I'll show you closer when we get back to the table. This is so awkward. All right, I'm gonna need a little bit more primer in there. This looks like. Obviously you're not gonna see this because it's in between the chassis, but you will see the front part. Probably should have hooked the fan up, Joe. Alright, let me clean up that airbrush. Woo! Alright, so the seat itself doesn't look too bad. The sides look real nice. I did go a little bit aggressive there and it got pretty deep, so I'm going to clean that up some more, even though, again, you're not really going to see it. Same thing right there. Still got to put a little bit of filler in there and sand that. But other than that, that looks pretty good. The floor pan is a different story. Obviously, you're not going to be able to see this, I don't think. But you're going to see some of it. So I do have to clean that up better. On this side, I'm not too worried about this. On this side here, it's so hard to get in there with something, but you know what? I remembered that I have. So maybe I can get in there with one of these. And just try to clean this up anyway. Yeah. I could probably get the top of the transmission tunnel looking better, but that's gonna be about it. I don't have anything to get down in there. So I got the area around the transmission tunnel fitting better. So the seat's sitting lower, so, you know, if there was going to be a difference in 1/24th scale. So, I don't know. I think it'll work. So, yeah, so sure looks sweet. You're not even going to see that back down in there. So we're good with that. Alright, so I appreciate everybody for watching. I still didn't sand on this body. A few people said the same thing, that they've got that same weird thing there on the right side quarter panel. So I'll just sand on it a little bit and make it look better. That's all there is to it. I got to take all the GTS emblems off of it. So there you have it. You have a 68 Dodge Dart sleeper. It's going to have a bench seat and 4-speed, 3-speed. I don't know what the transmission is in there, but anyway, appreciate it everybody for watching. All your comments, your likes, the new subscribers, all you guys that have been around, I appreciate it so much. And take care everybody. Joe's out.